Btcs stock, Btcs Inc. For the session of the 12th of January 2021, it closed at $6.70, a gain of 19.01%, and over 8.9 million shares crossed the tape during that session. And at some point as well, it rose above its 200-day moving average on its daily chart, which that moving average is at $6.72, and the stock itself closed slightly below that. You can see that here, slightly below that 200-day moving average. So what we know is that over the last 10 trading sessions, the underlying trend is a bullish one, and on the 5th of January this year, 2022, the stock rose from about $3.03 and reached $4.95. That's where based on this, yes, that's where it probably closed. But at some point, it may have been higher than 4.97. It may have been higher than that, but that was a huge jump, and 65 million shares crossed the tape during that session. And after that, it moved sideways and then began to extend again on the 10th of January. Began to extend again and reached this peak of $7.36 yesterday, the 12th, and pulled back now. Because of this pullback, we can see that its RSI is signaling that, is still signaling that sort of still reflecting that correction, that pullback from that high of that session. But yes, and indeed the RSI is also improving, momentum is also improving as well on this 10-day chart, and the accumulation distribution is a strongly bullish one, but the underlying trend is a very bearish one, still very bearish. The stock has been moving sideways. I mean, put it that way, it's been moving sideways, and since July, it's been trading pretty much between the range between the 10. Okay, let's put it down between $8.65, pretty much, yeah, and $3.2. Okay, that's quite a wide range. So we'll see what the readout is going to say below concerning what the trend is for for BTCS stock. So on this daily chart, this is a daily chart, we have that the RSI is improving, momentum is also improving. As a matter of fact, it's actually strongly bullish. Obviously, yes, because of the last 10 trading sessions has been, the trend is a bullish one, so it is likely to reflect on its daily chart. So RSI is also improving. Relative strength index, you can see accumulation very strong, very strong. You can see that very steep incline, and then now moving sideways. Now not move, still sloping upwards, but not as steep as it was. So the trend on the accumulation distribution is a very strong one. It's a strong bullish one for the accumulation. So buyers are definitely buying. They have to be definitely more active than sellers. So it appears to be riding within a longer term bearish trend, driving its MACD above the signal line. Is that what the case is? Okay, yes, MACD above the signal line. So we can only see that here. This is the daily chart where that is reflected. Yes, MACD is not very clear here, but it is above the signal line, yes. But on that 10-day chart, that's not the case. But this readout is all about the daily chart. So moving on here, we can see that however, the 200-day moving average is declining, signifying that the dominant trend remains lower. Yes, so it's definitely did not say that the stock is consolidating, because that wide range would definitely not indicate any consolidation. The wide range has been trading since July or thereabout, and up till late. It's not a narrow one as such. $8.8 and some fraction and $3 and some fraction. It's quite a wide range. So it's also lagging the S&P 500. Momentum is strongly bullish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is above 80, the level which many analysts call overbought. This means that investors have been actively purchasing shares and driving the price higher. That is for sure. That's this one. It's definitely overbought. So at the same time, based on that, you have to also be careful as well, because if it's overbought, the implication of that is that it is likely to maybe get cooled off a bit, or it may begin to cool off a bit, or begin to retrace. One of those. So the trading volume for The last session was heavier than usual, trading 8.916 million shares versus an average of 489,269 shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced indicator is bullish. I told you that. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are definitely more active than sellers for now. Yes, buyers are definitely more active than sellers. So we have been able to break down what's been going on with the stock. So since it closed at $6.70, we can see that it's now trading ahead of its 10-day 1 standard deviation trading range. Because of that, largely because of what has happened on 5th of January, yes, and also what has also been happening of late. Yes, because of that 5th of January move, and also what's been happening also since the 10th of January largely, but to a great extent, I think to a great extent, the combination of the two of them, what happened on the 5th of January and also what has been happening since the 10th of January. So easily it's now ahead of its 10-day 1 standard deviation trading range, and also we can also see that on this daily chart, it's also, it's also ahead of its 10-day moving average as well. So that's a validation of what we're seeing here graphically. Okay, so we return and see, but it's also ahead of its 20-day 1 standard deviation trading range as well, easily, and then that's also, but in the case of its 50-day 1 standard deviation trading range, it is lagging that 1 standard deviation, but graphically we can see it is above it on this daily chart. So what could be the reason for that? What could be the reason for this anomaly? So I think to some extent, we can, if we go back all the way to the 9th of November, the stock actually was slightly above. You can see that it was trading at $8.39. Yeah, so amongst other things, that may be responsible to some extent why we have that occurring. And also it ran up, it had a charge against it charged against all those moving averages that were ahead of it from late October, 27th October or 27th of October. You can see that charged, got some resistance, pulled back, but never fell below the 50-day moving average, charged again, broke above the 50-day moving average. So that is one of the reasons why it has this range of up to $8.71 amongst other things, because those prices were printed. Those prices, they were printed over that period, so it has definitely affected what has happened with the stock, and apart from that as well, when it reached that, it also continued to retrace, but never even when it retraced, it didn't fall off completely. As a matter of fact, it bounced off that 50-day moving average and also challenged the 20-day moving average. So it was trading within a very high range as well after that chart. So that is why it is statistically trading lagging its one standard deviation trading range, but graphically it is ahead of the 50-day moving average. So do we have any price target for Btcs stock? We'll have to determine one now. So we take this high of 7.38 it achieved by 12:20 p.m. yesterday, the 12th of January. 7.38, and then we subtract this low of okay, let's take this low of 6.85 achieved at 2:10 p.m. 6.85, so you got 6.86, and then we'll determine a difference between that high and low, and then from then on we can go ahead and establish a price target from there using 2.618 Fibonacci extension level minus 6.86 will give us 0.52 multiplied by 0.5, multiplied by 2.618 will give us 1.36. So we add 1.36 to 6.70. Okay, let's use 6.80 that it's currently trading right now in this post market. For 6.80, it will give us 8.16. So our target is 8.16. It has potential to get there within the next 10 trading sessions. So our target is 8.16 for BTCS stock, 8.16. So see what you make of BTCS stock, and thank you very much for watching this video.